not too many questions. So some of the, sorry, I'm gonna start again. So number one, it's simple enough because it's in the right format. So number one tells me that, so I'm gonna just take that, just write a little bigger. So I'm gonna write that as negative 1x, I'm gonna put it over 1 plus 3. And the second one, I'm gonna write it as y equals 2x minus 6, and I'm also gonna put it over 1. So things I know about my first one, it's a negative slope, so my line is going to look like that, and it crosses 3 on the y-axis. So I have 1 point. All I need is one more point. So remember, the numerator is your rise, how much it's going to go up and down, and your denominator is going to go left and right, how many you go left and right. So just makes life easier. So from our y-intercept, which is 3, positive 3, I'm going to go, I don't know, up 1. And in this case, I'm going to go left because I want my line. So when I connect the dots, my line has to go that way. And if, just in case, you actually put the dot on the other side, and if you connect those dots, your line would look like this. And obviously, I hope that you would have stepped on the brakes and said to yourself, okay, I know I'm incorrect because my slope is supposed to be negative. So this one, right, should be this way. Okay, so I am putting more than necessary. We only need 2 points to connect to create a line, so we have more than enough. I'll just go like this. I don't have a ruler. Label your line. So this is my line, y equals negative x plus 3. Change colors. The other one is y equals 2x minus 6. So my negative 6. Do I have negative 6 over here? So here's my y-intercept. And this is a positive slope, so that means my line is going to go up. So it's 2 over 1, so the 2 is my up and down movement, and my 1 is my left and right movement. So we're going to go 2 up and 1 to the right, obviously to the right, because if you went left, your slope would point down. We want my line to point up. So 2 up, 1 to the right, 2 up, 1 to the right, and here, and you can tell that's our solution. So let me just connect the dots. That intersection right here, and I'm going to change colors, is our solution. And our solution in this case is the point 3, 0. Okay. Look how much faster we solve this compared to doing substitution and elimination. On the right side, again, let me just make this a little bigger. So I know x has a coefficient of 1. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it over 1 plus 3. So things I know already. It's a negative slope, so it's going to go down that way. The second one is y equals x plus 1, and again, I'm going to make the coefficient visible, put over 1 plus 1. And that one is a positive slope, right, because the coefficient is m is positive, so my line should go up. So let's start with a top one. Let's call that 1, and let's call this 2. So 1, it's going to cross the y-axis at 3, so it's going to cross there. And remember, our slope is negative 1 over 1, so let me write it like that. So up and down movement and left to right movement. So I'm going to go down 1, 1 to the right, down 1, 1 to the right. And why am I going right? Because my line has to point down. So if you, by any chance, again, made it look like this, right? When you connect the dots, that's a line that goes up, right? That's a positive slope, which is not what you want because the slope is negative. So in this case, we want the dots on this side. So a few on each side. And obviously, we have more than necessary. Connect the dots. So this is y equals negative x plus 3. Let's do the next one. Y equals x plus 1. It crosses the y-axis here. This is a positive slope, so it should go up. So again, it's 1 over 1, so we're going to go 1 up and 1 to the right or left. So in this case, we're going to go 1 up and 1 to the right, and right away, we find a point intersection. 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, or 1 down and 1 to the left. This is our second line. It goes up as you're reading from left to right, and this is y equals x plus 1. And our solution is this point intersection. Where do they meet? Those two lines meet at 1, 2. Um, 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, you have to rearrange both equations. Okay. so that it looks like, I'm going to write it over here. We want it in this format. So equation 1 here, x minus y. So x minus y equals 2. It's negative y. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. We're going to get negative y equals negative x plus 2. I'm going to put a coefficient here of 1 so that it shows you that we're going to divide everything by negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. And by doing that, I get my y to be positive. So y equals, and again, that's negative x over negative 1, so that's going to be positive x. And positive 2 over negative 1 is going to be negative 2. So that's my first line. And to be honest, I'm going to go right away and put a 1 over there so that you don't forget. The second equation, and I'll do it on this side, x plus y equals negative 6. I'm going to subtract x from each side. And I'm going to get y equals negative x minus 6. And this one I'm done. And again, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to write the coefficient there. Minus 6. Because I'm going to put that, just like this one, I'm going to put it over 1 and put it over 1. Things I know, for the first equation here, it's slope that goes up, positive, and my y-intercept is negative 2. So negative 2 is over here. And this, again, 1 over 1, so if you put 1 over 1, this is going to go 1 up or 1 down, and 1 left or 1 right. So here we want to go 1 up and 1 to the right, because when we connect the dots, we want a line that goes up. So 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right. That's enough for me. The slope that goes up. So this is y equals x minus 2, which is my first equation here. The second one I'll do in blue. So this one is a negative slope, so it should be pointing, it's going to go down, and my y-intercept is negative 6. So negative 6 is right here. So it's a line that's going to go down. So here, again, the top number is how many up and down, and the bottom number is left to right. So in this case, we're going to go up and we're going to go left, right? Because when I connect those 2 points, we want a line that points down. So again, and right there, we already see the point of intersection between those 2 lines. So let me just go like this. And this is my second equation, which we rewrote as y equals negative x minus 6. Put a little circle over here. This is our point of intersection. So that point is negative 2, negative 4. Right here. Number 4. So again, x plus y equals negative 2. Let's change that. Subtract minus x on both sides. We get y equals negative x. Again, sorry, I know it's negative x, but I'm going to put that 1 over there. Okay. And then on the other side, it's 7x minus 4y equals 8. You're going to subtract 7x from each side. And you get negative 4y equals negative 7x plus 8. Divide everything by negative 4. So negative 4's cancel out. You get y. And this is going to be positive 7 over 4x. And then that's positive 8 and negative 4, negative 2. That's the second equation. So let's graph the first one. First one is negative slope, right? Because the slope is negative, so it's going to look like it's going to go down. The y-intercept is negative 2. So again, let's put a 1 over here so we don't forget. Negative 1 over 1. So this is your up and down, and this is your left and right. So it's going to cross negative 2. Negative 2 is down here. So it's a slope that aims down. So we're going to go 1 up and 1 to the left. Right? 1 up, 1 to the left, 1 up, 1 to the left, because we need this to point down, right? So that goes down from left to right. So here's my first equation. Y equals negative x minus 2, which is that one. Change colors. So again, this one is a slope that goes up, right? Positive. And negative 2 is also the y-intercept. So that one, point of interception is right here. Intersection between the 2 lines. And we're going to go 7. So this one is 7 over 4. So 7 up and down and 4 left to right. So let's count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think we don't have room for more points, so that's okay because we only need 2 points to create a line. So this is my second line, which is y equals 7 over 4x minus 2, which is that version. So our point of intersection is 0, negative 2, and that's the solution of these two, of the system here. So if I plugged in 0, negative 2 in equation 1 and 0, negative 2 in equation 2, it will satisfy both equations. Okay, so again, hopefully I can make this bigger. So we're doing these ones, 2, 4, 6, 8. No, actually doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long. And I have to eat my lunch. So the second equation is already to our favor, right? So I'm going to have to change the top equation. So let me find something here. So 4x minus 2y equals negative 8. I'm going to do minus 4x on both sides. We're going to get negative 2y equals negative 4x minus 8. Divide everything by negative 2. And we get y equals the negative 2 divided by, negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2x. And negative 8 divided by negative 2 is positive 4. So that's my second equation. Okay, so let's start. Now this one is interesting because both equations are the same. So let me graph it. It doesn't matter which one. So the y-intercept is 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am really not a fan of coordinate planes with numbers. So that's 4, my y-intercept, and then it's 2 over 1, right? So remember, this is going to go like up, right? And 2 over 1, which means the up and down, you're going to count up and down 2, and left to right, you're going to go 1. So let's go 2 up and 1 to the right. The reason I went right is because when I connected dots, it's going to point up. 2 down and 1 to the left. So 2 down and 1 to the left is here. 2 down, 1 to the left. I'm adding in a few extra points. So that's equation 1. Y equals 2x plus 4. Equation 2, you notice, is exactly the same thing. So guess what? It goes right on top of equation 1. What's the solution? The solution is all the points on the line. Any point that you pick that is on this line will satisfy equation 1 and equation 2. That's nice. 4. So, 4 is beautiful because they're both done for us. So let's take equation 1. Equation 1, which is the top one, is negative slope. It's going to aim down. And it's negative 3 over 2. So let me write that over here, negative 3 over 2. So 3 is the number of units you're going to count up and down, and 2 is going to go left and right. So the y-intercept is 1. So from here, I know, let's go up 1, 2, 3, and we need to go left because when I connected 2 dots from left to right, our slope has to go this way. Okay. So hang on a second. So if I go down, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and to the right. So let me just have. Now I can connect these. A little. So hard connecting the points. Connect these. All right. So that's equation 1. Y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 1. And the second one, y equals half x. So this one is positive, so it's going to go up. My y-intercept is negative 3, so negative 3 is here. And we're going to go up, so it's 1 over 2, so it's going to be 1 up and down, and 2 is going to be how many units you go to the right. So 1 up to the right, and here, right here is my the intersection, 1 up to the right, 1 up to the right. So our second line looks like this. I'm going to label it 1/2 x minus 3, and our solution is this point right here, and hopefully that's 2, negative 2. Okay, that's our solution. Y equals 3. So let's change our second equation, right? So our second equation, we have to rewrite it. So we have x equals, so we're going to do minus x. That goes away, and we get negative y equals negative x minus 4. Again, remember there's a 1 here, so I'm going to divide everybody by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1, and 1 times y is just y. This is going to be a negative over a negative, and that's a 1, by the way. That's going to be 1x. And the last one is negative 4 over negative 1 is positive 4. So that's my second equation. Let me write it a little better than that. So y equals x plus 4. And I'm going to add a 1 over here and a 1 at the bottom, right? So this one is a positive. Slope is positive, so it's going to go up like this. And it's 1 over 1, so 1 up and 1, or 1 down, and 1 up and 1 left and right. Okay, so let's graph the first one. Y equals 3. Well, let's find y. Well, 0, 1, 2, 3. Y equals 3 is right here. Let's stretch that line. And the other one is going to be, what's this? This here, we're going to graph this one. So the slope, the y-intercept is 4, positive 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the y-intercept. And it's 1 up and 1 right. So 1 up and 1 right. 1 up and 1 right. Or if you go down, it's going to be the opposite. 1 down, 1 left. So there, right there is our intercept. Intersection, sorry. So where do these two lines cross? And I can change it into a different color. Two lines meet right here. And what is that point? That point is negative 1, comma 3. Okay, that's the solution to our equation. All right, not bad. Last one. Ooh, this one we have to change both equations. So let's take care of the first one. So first one looks like 4x plus 6y equals negative 12. Equals negative 12. Negative 4x, sorry, minus 4x, minus 4x. So we get 6y equals minus 4x minus 12. I'm going to divide everything by 6. That goes away, and I get y equals, let's simplify that, negative 2 over 3x. Negative 12 over 6 is just negative 2. So this is a negative slope. It's going to look like that. Negative 2 over 3. 2 is your up and down, and 3 is your left and right. On the other side, we're going to do equation 2, which is 2x plus 3y equals 6. We're going to subtract 2x from both sides. And we get 3y equals negative 2x plus 6. Divide this by 3, divide this by 3, and divide this by 3. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. So here, this is a negative slope as well. And it's the same. No, it's not the same equation. It's almost the same. The slope is the same, but the y-intercept is different. So actually, I'm glad this came up. Okay, so let's graph. Let me just write this. This is the up and down, and left and right. Oh, I got lucky. I picked the right questions. Let's graph this one on the left. Negative 2 is the y-intercept, so it's going to go through here. So it's a negative slope, right? It's going to aim down. So we're going to go 2 down. Up and down is 2 units. 2 down and 3 to the right. 2 down, 3 to the right, or 2 up and 3 to the left. So this is what that line looks like. That's the slope. So that is our equation y equals negative 2/3 x minus 2, okay, which is our equation 1. Okay, so I'm going to put a little 1 here. Equation 2, and this is 1. We change colors. Equation 2, which is the bottom one, which we rewrote this one, equation 2, which is this one over here. Now notice that the slope is exactly the same, so, but the y-intercept is 2. This one crosses the y-axis here. But the slope, so again, we're going to go down 2 and 3 to the left, down 2, 3 to the left, down 2, 3 and left, or up 2 and 3 to the, down 2 and 3 to the right, down 2, 3 to the right, or up 2 and 3 to the left. So notice that these are parallel lines because the slope is the same, but their y-intercepts are different. So well, is there a solution? This one is no solution because these two lines don't have an intersection and they will never, ever, ever meet. Okay? All right, so that was your homework.